Yo, what is up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about the main event between Curtis Blaydes and Derrick Lewis. It is obviously a heavyweight fight. We have two top 5 heavyweights in the world. The number 3 heavyweight in the world, Curtis Blaydes, 14-2. Derrick Lewis, the number 5 heavyweight in the world, 24-7. Whoever wins this fight, I don't really know if they'll get a title shot, as they do have Francis Ngannou ahead of them, and potentially Jon Jones also ahead of them. So who knows what'll happen after whoever one of these wins this next fight. Will they have to fight some other random 7th ranked, 8th ranked heavyweight? Will they have to fight Jon Jones? Will they have to fight Francis Ngannou? Or will they just get that title shot off the bat? Who really knows with this heavyweight division? But all I do know is Curtis Blaydes, 14-2. He is a huge favorite to win this fight at minus 345. Absolutely insane that he's that big of a favorite to win this one. Derrick Lewis, 24-7. He is the plus 275 underdog. He is 35 and a half years old. Curtis Blaydes is 29 and a half years old, so a little bit of an age advantage there for Curtis Blaydes. Also, Curtis Blaydes, 6'4" tall and has an 80-inch reach. Derrick Lewis, 6'3" tall and has a 79-inch reach. So 1-inch advantage is there for the height and reach of Curtis Blaydes. Alright, so as I already said, Curtis Blaydes, he is a huge favorite to win this fight. And even if you look at Tapology, out of 800 votes, it's a pretty good sample size, I have to say. But 80% of those votes are going for Curtis Blaydes to win this fight, mainly by TKO. Some people think this fight's going to go all the way, and that he's going to win the fight by unanimous decision. And a small number of people, 9% of the votes, are going for Curtis Blaydes to win this fight by submission. I really doubt that's going to happen. I really am hoping this fight goes all the way, and it's a real slugfest, but I really think one of these fighters is definitely going to get a finish, whether it's a knockout or a TKO in this fight. 20% of the votes are going for Derrick Lewis to win this fight. Literally every single one of those votes is for knockout. Like, they don't think Curtis Blaydes has any possibility of getting a submission or getting a decision in this fight, so I really am kind of agreeing with these tabloid predictions in that this fight is definitely going to end as a knockout or TKO. Alright, so I mean, if you look at Curtis Blaydes' record, 14-2, he hasn't had that many fights in this heavyweight division. Started his career off back in 2014, which isn't really that long ago. He started off with a first round knockout, second round knockout, third round knockout in the RFA, got a shot inside the UFC. Ended up fighting Francis Ngannou in his first fight with the promotion. Lost the fight by second round doctor stoppage from an eye injury. Came back after that with a second round elbow knockout over Cody East, a unanimous decision over Daniel Omyaljush, and a second round TKO over Alexei Oleinik, followed by a unanimous decision over Mark Hunt, and a third round knockout over Alistair Overeem. Now, after those 5 wins in a row, he ended up rematching Francis Ngannou at a main event at UFC Fight Night 141, but he ended up losing yet again by first round knockout. Now, after that second loss, yet again to Francis Ngannou, the only man to defeat him, he came back after that with a unanimous decision over Justin Willis, a second round TKO over Shamil Abdurrahimov, and a second round knockout in a main event over Junior Dos Santos, which got him his most recent fight against Alexander Volkov, which he ended up winning by unanimous decision. Alright, now let's take a look at his opponent, Derrick Lewis. Alright, so I mean, Derrick Lewis is definitely the more experienced fighter. He's 24-7, has had more than 30 pro MMA bouts, almost double that of what Curtis Blaydes has. I mean, he's been fighting as a pro mixed martial artist since 2010. Started off with a win, lost his next fight to Sean Jordan, came back with a win, another win, and another win over Taylor Herbert. Lost his next fight after that inside of Bellator against Tony Johnson Jr. Came back after that with a nice win, and then a third round knockout in Legacy FC, followed by a first round knockout in the RFA, and then a second round knockout inside Legacy FC, a third round knockout, all of that getting him a shot inside the UFC back in 2014, where he ended up starting with a first round knockout over Jack May, a first round knockout over Gudo Inocente, but in his next fight against Matt Mitrione, ended up getting his first loss inside the promotion by first round Ram knockout. Came back after that with a second round TKO over Ron Piotr. Lost the next fight after that to Sean Jordan. I believe that was their rematch and lost that one as well by second round head kick KO. Came back after that one with a third round at TKO over Victor Pesta, a first round at TKO over Damian Grabowski, a first round knockout over Gabriel Gonzaga, and then a very close split decision win over Roy Nelson, followed by a fourth round at TKO in a main event spot against Shamil Abdurrahimov, followed by a second round at TKO win over Travis Brown. Now, after those 6 wins in a row, he ended up getting a really big step up in competition, as in his next fight in a main event, he ended up fighting Mark Hunt. Now, Mark Hunt at the time was 12-11-1. And was coming off a devastating loss to Alistair Overeem by third round knockout. But in this fight, he definitely came back with a nice win, as he ended up beating Derrick Lewis by fourth round knockout. Now, after that loss to Mark Hunt, Derrick Lewis came back with a fire inside of him, as he got a third round knockout over Marcin Tybura, unanimous decision over Francis Ngannou, the number 1 heavyweight contender in the world, and then a third round knockout over Alexander Volkov. Now, after those 3 wins, he ended up getting that title shot against Daniel Cormier, one of the best heavyweights of all time, but did end up losing that fight by second round rear naked choke submission. Now, after that loss in a main event spot for the title against Daniel Cormier, he ended up fighting Junior Dos Santos in his next fight after that, but lost that fight as well by second round knockout. Came back after that with very close to split decision win over Blago Ivanov and a unanimous decision win over Lilir Latifi. Now, after those 2 wins, after those 2 losses to DC and JDS, he got a main event spot against Alexei Oleinik, which he ended up winning by second round knockout. Alright, so this fight should be very good. I expect fireworks in this fight. Even though Derrick Lewis is a plus 275 underdog in this one, I think his shots of winning this fight are much higher. Curtis Blaydes, he definitely doesn't have the best chin. He has been knocked out by Francis Ngannou, a very powerful striker. But Derrick Lewis has beaten Francis Ngannou, which is really saying something. But, I mean, he did beat Francis Ngannou, but still, that fight was kind of really bad from both of those fighters. Derrick Lewis, he's a lot older now than he once was when he fought DC. 24-7, coming off a 3-fight win streak. Curtis Blaydes coming off of a 4-fight win streak, unanimous decision, knockout, TKO, unanimous decision. I really think Curtis Blaydes, his TKO power is way too much. I know Derrick Lewis has a very good knockout power. I believe he has the knockout record in the UFC for the heavyweight division. But if Curtis Blaydes can get a takedown on Derrick Lewis and just start putting on that ground and pound, I think he'll have no problem getting a TKO actually in this fight, maybe in the first or second round. I don't really think it's going to happen in the first or second. Derrick Lewis is going to be playing the first and second a little bit safer, just throwing up those big shots every now and then. I think in the third round is where Curtis Blaydes is going to tire Derrick Lewis out a little bit, go for that TKO, and I'm pretty sure he can get that TKO in the third round. So that's my prediction. Curtis Blaydes, third round TKO. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like this video. If you do like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 1,500 subscribers. It's been a long grind. I've been doing YouTube videos for I believe 5 or 6 months now. It's been since June, I believe. But yeah, make sure to subscribe. We're almost to 1,500 subscribers. I'm going to be posting videos every single day. UFC, LFA, Bellator, Invicta FC, LFA. I mean, come on. There's so many fight promotions out there. Any video ideas you want me to do in the future, make sure to put in the comment section below. It's been a very fun video, but I'm out of here.